So Declan, let's talk about the new shiny investments that are available. We can talk about gold. Obviously, that's not a new shiny thing, is it? That's been around for a little while, but it's still a shiny thing. But there's other shiny things, such as crypto. And all of these really are under this misnomer of a heading, alternative investments. My view on that is that they couldn't come up with a better brand name, so they just called it alternative. That being said, we can't ignore the fact that the press discuss them all the time. Investors ask questions, why shouldn't I be invested in them? What's our view on gold and crypto and any other shiny things that we can think of?
Well, cryptocurrency is an interesting example of where a new shiny thing has garnered a lot of interest, particularly from those that have been younger and maybe disenfranchised from the financial sector, as a kind of anti-establishment, as a new alternative gold, a store of value, etc., rather than a play on technology stocks.
Yep.
For what it is. Now, we've seen a massive rally in gold through 2025 and into the early part of 2026. Some of that is from its safe haven status. Some of that is from the speculation as it's gone up. And actually some of it from central banks who are diversifying away from the dollar. Seemingly, obviously, we have an administration in the US that is less seen as a pure safe haven than it once was. But actually, the fundamental, what is the store of value? What is the value of these alternatives? They're valuable because other people think they're valuable. They don't have an intrinsic value in what they do. You buy a company, it has a value, it has a revenue stream, etc. Gold, like crypto, doesn't have a yield. It doesn't give you anything. So actually, what you've seen is when gold has hit all-time highs in the past 40, 50 years, it's followed then actually with a much less benign period where its performance has dropped hugely. It's not kept pace with inflation. So its status as an inflation hedge, a store of value, a port of call in a market storm is there because people think it is.
Yeah, and
there is drivers to those demands from the central bank and from Far East and emerging markets where the growing middle class want jewellery, etc. So there is drivers to that piece, but there is a lot of exuberance and getting on the rally as well from private investors.
And if we recall, the two fundamentals are profit and loss and sentiment. Well, gold and certainly crypto don't have a balance sheet, like you've just said. So almost all of their performance and growth is driven by that sentiment, that emotion that it's creating a value. FOMO, fear of losing out, missing out, that will have an impact as well because people have seen the rise of certainly crypto. And your point about being a reaction, a sort of to the establishment, that's well made because that shows again it's the emotion driving that interest in that sort of, I'm loath to call it an asset type, but into that sort of investment.
Yeah, but to an extent, the regulation has to come with that. I know the FCA is looking at exchange traded notes to be launched for the UK retail market. So they've got to be commensurate with that. But, what we see in 2025, a lot of precious metals have rallied. Some of them have much more industrial use, like silver, hugely outperformed gold, platinum, and even copper as a non-precious metal. But actually, in terms of the electrification system and batteries and everything else goes with it, that's been hugely in demand as well. So those could be bagged in as commodities and alternatives. But is crypto the new gold? Well, you might say that other precious metals are the new gold as well.
Yes, a colleague of mine says silver's the new gold.